we have learned about the procedure to create the Organizational Breakdown Structure or OBS and Enterprise Project Structure or EPS in our previous lesson. So we know the fact that Organizational Breakdown Structure is a hierarchy, and we can break down our Organizational Breakdown Structure or OBS into divisions, departments, and then into a responsible manager. The OBS is the option under the Enterprise menu where we can find the related divisions, departments, and the responsible manager who will be actually managing the work on a certain project. Now, please note that the EPS is also a hierarchy like OBS, and it consists of a group of related projects that are having the common characteristics. So by creating Enterprise Project Structure, our EPS means that we actually organize our projects in a hierarchy in a certain organization. Now, please remember that EPS is similar like a program which consists of a group of related projects that are managed centrally. So the Enterprise Project Structure or EPS can be subdivided into any number of sub-EPS as required by a certain organization. Remember, firstly, we have created our organization's OBS, then we created the EPS, and now in this present lesson, we will be learning to create a new project in the Primavera P6 database. And for this, please note that most of the time we will be working in the default window in the Primavera P6. Then once our new project is created, then we will learn to create our project work breakdown structure. In other words, we will further divide our project work into small parts or sections, which are normally called as the WBS Elements or the work packages. We will also learn to assign the responsible manager to our project and WBS Elements as needed. So that means we will create a relationship or link our OBS and EPS to our newly created project. Also, we will assign OBS or responsible manager for our WBS Elements as needed by our project requirements. Please don't forget that creating the WBS Elements, it means we will be decomposing our project work into small manageable sections. Okay, now let's start and create a new project, and after we will create work breakdown structure for our project after creating the project in the Primavera P6 database. Okay, then there are multiple ways by using which we can create our new project in the Oracle Primavera P6 default screen. We can click on the File menu from the top, and there I can select the new option to start a new project wizard. Secondly, I can use the folder-like icon in the standard toolbar. I can click on this, and this will also start a new project wizard. Now, there is another way. I can use the plus icon in the edit toolbar. If I click on this, you see it is also opening up the window by using which we can create a new project in the Oracle Primavera P6 database. Now, finally, there is another option by using which we can create our project. I will right click on the EPS and can click on Add. You see it is also starting a create a new project wizard. Now, in the Select EPS window, it is asking us to select the Enterprise Project Structure level for the new project. Under Select EPS, I will click on this button and I will select the Internal Development Project. I will click on Select button in the upper right corner. Now, why we have selected this Internal Development Projects? The reason for selecting this EPS is that our projects will be managed internally in the organization called Arba Incorporated. So it is required to select the EPS called Internal Development Projects. Now I need to click on the next button. Now it is asking the project name and the project ID. In the project ID field, I will type AR55, and in the project name field, I will type Arba Head Office Building Structure Project. Now after typing the project ID and the project name, I will click on the next button. Now in the window, it is asking for the project start and end dates. Under project plan start, I will click on browse button, and let's say our project plan start date is 20th of June. I will select this date. Now the next option it is asking is must finish by. As far as the must finish by date is concerned, please remember that the must finish by date means that you have to finish the project on the mentioned date. I mean, some projects, they have a mandatory finish dates. For example, if you want to finish a project on an already fixed date for your project, then that means it has a mandatory finish date. So in our case, since it doesn't matter, I will leave this field as blank and I will click next. Now the responsible manager is, as you see here, Structural Engineering Division. So this is what we want. We want our project managed by the Structural Engineering Division. So I will click next. Now we have assignment rate type screen. Now in this window, we need to specify the default rate type for our new assignments. Now the current rate type selected is standard rate. The standard rate means 8 units per day or 5 units per day, or it may be any other value depending upon our project requirements. I mean, the rate type can be 5 hours per day or 8 hours per day as needed. Of course, we have some other options there in the drop-down menu, such as external rate, internal rate, etc. We'll have more details later in the course. And now once I click on next button, now we have a message here. Congratulations, your new project has been created. So I'll click on finish button. Now as you see here, we have our new project there in the project window called Arba Head Office Building Structure Project, which is going to be managed by the Structural Engineering Division. We have just created now. So this is how we can create our new project in the Oracle Primavera P6 and can assign the OBS or responsible manager as needed by our project. Now as you see, since our new project is already there in the Oracle Primavera P6 database, and now we will divide our project work into small sections or parts. That is called work breakdown structure, and these small sections or parts are called as WBS elements or work packages. Now there are two ways by using which we can create our work breakdown structure. Now if you come across a situation like when at the top, if you see the project menu is grayed out, I mean it is disabled, and in the project toolbar the WBS icon is also disabled. That means we have to open our project since no project is opened at present. It is also there, I mean you can see at the top, no current project. Now I will right click on my project that we have recently created. Now I will select the open project option. Now immediately after this, you see the projects menu and the WBS option in the project toolbar. I mean this icon is also enabled. Now if I click on WBS option here in the project toolbar, now nothing is displaying there since we have not created our work breakdown structure for our project yet. And here if you click on the activities window, we don't have anything in the activities window yet. Now let me click on this blue box, I mean the WBS icon, and it is opening up the WBS window in front of us. As I said before, we can open the WBS window by using the project menu from the top and selecting the WBS option from there. Or in the project toolbar, we can select the WBS icon. These blue boxes there in the project toolbar, which will let us directly to the WBS window. Since we are already there in the WBS window, now let's start creating our WBS elements or work packages here. As you see in the WBS window, the name of our project, which is ARBA Head Office Building Structure Project, it is displaying there. Okay, so let's create the work breakdown structure for our project. As you see at the top, we have the project name there. But before the name, we have project code that is called AR55. Then the name of the project is ARBA Head Office Building Project. Now, we have divided our project work into 4 sections or parts. The first phase is design engineering, and the code for the design engineering is AR55.1. Similarly, the second phase is called AR55.2, electrical and mechanical system. Then we have the third phase, which is AR55.3, exterior finishing. And after that, we have the fourth phase or section, and this is called as AR55.4, interior finishing. Now, every phase is further divided into 3 work packages or WBS elements. The first phase is divided into building design, foundation, and structure. Now, the second phase, it is divided into elevator, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical work packages. Similarly, the third phase, it is divided into brick, roof, doors, and windows. Now, the last phase, which is phase 4, exterior finishing, there we have plumbing and lighting fixtures, floor and carpeting, carpentry, and paint, WBS elements there. As you know that we have created our project already in the Oracle Primavera P6 database, and as discussed before, now we are going to create our work breakdown structure for our project. We have divided our project into 4 phases that are design engineering, electrical and mechanical system, exterior finishing, and interior finishing. We said that every phase or section of the project, it is divided further into 3 work packages each. And of course, your own project may look different than what we have discussed here. It's important to note that we can create the work breakdown structure for our project in 3 different ways. Firstly, we can use the insert key from our keyboard. And the second way is I can right click in the WBS window and I can select the add option from here. Now, the third way is I can use the add icon from the edit toolbar and can add the WBS elements in the WBS window. Okay, so the WBS element for the first phase is created there already. I will click on add icon in the edit toolbar once more. Okay, now the second one is created. I need to create 2 more since we have 4 phases in our project. Now we have to rename these WBS elements. I will click on the first WBS element and rename it to design engineering, and then I will click on the second WBS name. In fact, I will double click here and I will rename this to electrical and mechanical system. Similarly, I will click on the third WBS and I will rename this to exterior finishing, and the last WBS element, I will rename this to interior finishing. Okay, so we have created our 4 phases already, but please note that these phases don't look like at the same level as you see here on the right side. So in order to change their level, I will use or move left icon in the move toolbar to arrange these WBS elements as needed. For example, as you see from the top, the first WBS element, it looks okay, but the second WBS element is basically created under design engineering. So I have to move it under our project. I will click on this and I will select the left mouse, the move left icon and click it once. Now it is moved. I will click the third WBS element and select the move left. Click on the move left icon. Okay. Now the fourth WBS element, similar way, I will click on this move left icon and it is also moved directly under our project. Now the hierarchy looks okay. All these four faces are at the same level now. Next, we are going to create the WBS elements under each face as you see here in the window. As we know already that every top level WBS element or face is further divided into 3 WBS elements. So for example, let's start from the first face and add the WBS element here. I will use the plus or the add icon from the edit toolbar. Okay, now I will select design engineering, the phase 1 again, and click on the add icon once more. Okay, since we need to create the 3 WBS element under every phase, so I will click on design engineering once more and select the add icon. Okay, so all our 3 WBS elements are created under phase 1, which is design engineering. But remember here, these WBS elements are already created in a sequence. I don't need to use the move toolbar in the right side. Okay, now I will rename the first WBS element as building design. Okay, then I will double click on the second WBS element under phase 1, which is foundation. Okay, and after the third WBS element, I will rename this to structure. Okay, now in a similar way, I will create the 3 WBS elements under phase 2, which is electrical and mechanical systems. So I can right mouse click and click on add option here. Okay, then I will select electrical mechanical systems and press add option from here. Remember why I'm doing it, so that my WBS elements will be created in sequence automatically. So I will click on electrical and mechanical systems and select the add option from here. Okay, so for the phase 2, I have to rename the first WBS element to elevator, and the second WBS element under phase 2 is HVAC. The third WBS element, I'm going to rename this to plumbing and electrical. Okay, now as you see here, we have created the WBS elements for the phase 2 already. Now I will click on the phase 3, which is exterior finishing, and create the WBS elements. For this, I will right mouse click on add. Okay, click on exterior finishing and click add. Okay, now I will create the third WBS element here. Next, I have to rename the first WBS element under exterior finishing, which is brick. Second one is roof. And the third WBS element, I will rename this to doors and windows. Doors and windows. Okay, now the third phase is complete. I will click on the fourth phase, interior finishing, and now I will use the plus icon in the edit toolbar just to show you the difference. Add. But if I click on interior finishing and press the add icon in the edit toolbar, the WBS element will be created directly under the interior finishing. Okay, now let me move the second WBS element under phase 4 because this WBS element is created under first WBS element of phase 4, but all three should be under phase 4 only. So I will use the left icon or the move left icon from the move toolbar. Now they looks okay now. Okay, so the first WBS element I will rename to plumbing and lighting. Plumbing and lighting. Okay, now you see the difference here. They are not in sequence. Okay, let me rename these and then we'll move these WBS elements into sequence. We will move these WBS elements and put them into sequence accordingly. So I will rename second WBS element as floor and carpeting. Floor and carpeting. And the third WBS element as carpentry and paint. Now let's move the position of floor and carpeting one step before the carpentry and paint. So I will click on floor and carpeting, and you see here I can use the move up arrow in the move toolbar. Now as you see, the WBS elements, they are looking better now and they are in a proper sequence. If you note down here that I have modified the project code to AR55, but I did not change the WBS codes. Instead, all these WBS codes are generated by the Oracle Primavera P6 software automatically. But if you want to modify, of course you can do that. You can double click on the WBS code and can have your own specific WBS codes as needed. Please make sure and note that all these WBS elements are created exactly the way we want to create it as per our plan. If you see anything like they are not in proper sequence, we can use move toolbar down in the right. Now also we have discussed before that we can display or hide any of these toolbars by right clicking and clicking on, for example, if you don't want to see the edit toolbar here, you can click on this and it will be disappeared. Similarly, if you want to bring the edit toolbar back, you can click on this. Similar action can be performed for the other toolbars if needed, and we have discussed these in our previous lecture already. Okay, great. So we have created the WBS elements for our project already. But before, if you want to see these WBS elements that we have just created into the chart view, I can click on the chart view icon in the toolbar at the top, and you see, and we can verify that the WBS structure for our project is looking exactly the way we want to create. We can zoom in or zoom out the view as needed. Okay, now let me move back to our previous view. Now there are times when you want to view and work on the different layout that is there at present displaying in the Oracle Primavera P6 screen. Now if I want to change the view or modify or want to modify in the current layout, then I can click on layout option. In the layout, I can save the current layout or I can open from the existing layout options. Now you see in the global view, we have the different views there that we can use to open. For example, we have the WBS. Obviously, this was the similar kind of display that we were using previously. Then we have WBS budgeting view. For example, I click on this and I hit apply. Then the layout on our screen, it changes and it displays the original budget, current budget, and the total budget summary, etc. Now to switch back to the original view that I saved previously, I can click on the WBS under User Admin and click Apply. Now we are back to the previous view we were working before. Similarly, if I click on WBS chart view and click Apply, then you see it is displaying all the WBS structure that we created previously for our project. And it is displaying nicely here. You can quickly find out that whatever you have created previously, that your work breakdown structure and the related WBS elements are all in order and in proper hierarchy. Then I can select WBS standard view from the list and click Apply. So this is what we have previously. I can close this window. This is a procedure that you can use to open, save the current layout or save as with a different layout name as per your own requirements. Okay, so this is how you can open a certain layout, make any modification you want in the current layout and save it with a different layout as per your own requirements. Now let's click on the projects in the upper left corner. Here at the bottom you can see our current project displaying there in the window. If I click on Activities window, so here in the Activities window also we have our WBS or work breakdown structure displaying there for our project called ARBA Head Office Building Project. Now in case if you see some discrepancy, if you see some kind of disorganization or you see any problem in the hierarchy, first you can try by clicking on File menu, then click on Refresh Data, and it will arrange your WBS structure as per the entries you have created in the WBS window. But at present, as you see here, it looks nice and everything is in order. In the Activities window, we have our first phase, that is Design Engineering. It is further broken down into Building Design, Foundation and Structure WBS Elements. Then in the second phase, which is Electrical and Mechanical Systems, we have the WBS elements there that are elevators, HVAC, plumbing and electrical. Then in the third phase, which is Exterior Finishing, we have brick, roof, doors and windows, work packages there. In the final phase, which is phase 4, we have created our WBS elements as plumbing and lighting, floor and carpeting, carpentry and paint, as you see here in the screen. But I would like to suggest here that if you want to verify and double check your work breakdown structure for your project, then you please make use the chart view icon in the top layout toolbar. Now, as you observe here, if you are not in the WBS window, then the chart view icon is grayed out and it is disabled. It will be enabled only if you go to the WBS window. For example, if I click on the WBS window, you see immediately after that the chart view is enabled. If I click on chart view icon now, and you see our project work breakdown structure is displaying there in the chart form as a chart view, and we can easily verify our project WBS structures as needed. Okay, nice. So we have created the work breakdown structure for our project in the Oracle Primavera P6 database. Our project name is ARBA Head Office Building Project, and we have divided our project into 4 phases. Phase 1 consists of building design, foundation, and structure WBS elements. And the second phase, that is electrical and mechanical systems, it is further broken down into elevators, HVAC, plumbing and electrical WBS elements. The third phase we have, the name of the third phase is exterior finishing, and it is further divided into brick, roof, and doors and windows WBS elements. Now the fourth phase, which is interior finishing, It has plumbing and lighting, floor and carpeting, and carpentry and paint work breakdown structure elements are work packages there. Now, if I click on the activities window, if you observe here, the same information is displaying in the activities windows as well. Now, in the next lesson, we are going to create the activities under these WBS elements. Okay, thank you, and I see you in the next lesson.